Hello there. Hello, Shell. Oh, now bear with me. This is the first time I've done this, so I have to turn myself off. I'll just wait for a few more people to catch up, and I'll swivel my phone a little bit. No, sorry, wrong way. Hi, Susan. Hi, Karen. Hi, Debbie. I'm a little bit nervous, everybody. You know, this is my first time doing this. Normally I do editing of videos, so I've normally got time and space to edit myself. So bear with me. So if you haven't already read what I've got on my sheet of paper here, make sure you join the Natalie May Scrapbooking creative community so you can keep up to date with, thanks Karen, you can keep up to date with all the updated things. Linda and I post on there all the time, as does Natalie. Thank you, everybody. I'm getting there. Okay, I'm going to make a start because I want to try and keep it under an hour and a half. Okay, follow us all on Instagram. Natalie's Happy Dax, I'm Toki Creations, and Linda is 8239_Linda. So today I'm going to do a double journal page in my Dilutions classic journal, the one with the coloured pages, and I've already gessoed my page, and I've got a bit of an idea, so I'm quickly going to show you. I don't have much of an idea because I don't plan completely, but I'm going to use something from the Whimsical Girls. I've had this for a long time, and I know Natalie's still got them in stock, and every now and then I pull it out and find things. So I have picked something out of here. So I've got this girl, and to save you all watching me fussy cut, I've cut her out. So I'll just have if you haven't seen this book, it's great. There's so much in it. I'll just give a quick flick through because I really like seeing the insides of books and stuff before I buy them. There's different types of paper, double-sided, they just rip out. There's some beautiful pages in there. I haven't used a lot of the coloured sides, but I'm definitely going to use this side here. Some gorgeous, and there's some collage paper at the back as well, some stickers. So I might even use some of those stickers as a quote. And the other end of the book, like there's just so much. Look at these. Some colour inspiration. And they're just, I've already used that one before. Like really, really, I've done about 6-7 pages using these girls. They're just great as a focal point. So anyway, I won't go on about that, but there's that. So the idea I had for tonight's art journal page is I'm going to pop her here somewhere, and I'm going to have to cut half of her off, so she's going to be coming up the page, and I'm going to extend her umbrella, but I'm going to have coloured rainbow drops coming around her, around there. So what I'm going to do, and of course the one thing that I thought I had next to me is not there. Okay, so I'm just going to try and position her. I've picked a middle page because I knew she would have to be in the middle for me to get the full colour effect. So I want to put her about there. So I'm just going to really, no, not even. So I'm just going to pencil there and down there and up there. Haven't quite worked out how I'm going to extend that and what I'm going to put underneath, but I will work that out after. First, I want to get some collage paper out, and I'm going to put some detail in the back here some interest. And I like to use black and white. So I'm also going to show you. So I've got so many collage papers, and I keep my Natalie May ones in here, so they're all separate. But I always keep all the offcuts, so just so I can use bits and pieces of what I need. So I think I'm going to use that one tonight. I'll put that up there. Look, I've even got bits off the wrapping paper. I'm not going to use colour because my paints are going to be my colour. I love this one. This one's a great one because it's nice and bold. Okay, I also have ones that I don't think that's Natalie's. I think that must be Scrap Effects or something. And this one I love. And this one. So these are all Natalie's current collage papers. And I'm sorry, I just noticed myself saying I'll get used to that. Okay, so now I normally would use my gel medium with my catalyst tool, but because I'm using collage paper, I want to use an old brush because it really gets the gel medium gets stuck on your brush unless you give it a really good soak. And unfortunately for me, I've broken my legs, so they're just going to have to go in the closest pot I can find to myself until I can get my beautiful son to come and help me get everything. So I'm just going to rip up some of these. Just going to take the bottom off here, and I'm just going to rip. All right, my nerves are coming down now because I'm starting to create. And I apologize, I am keeping a look on there. Hi, Tammy. I am keeping a look on the comments. So if I miss something, just say it again. Oh, and my darling husband's watching me too. All right, so I'm just ripping off some bits of that one. Hi, Tammy. I'm a bit nervous, Tam. Are the legs going good, Susan? I'm not in pain. I'm just frustrated because I'm a little bit useless. So I'm working from home and I'm crafting in the same room. So I don't leave this room very much, but my wonderful husband is looking after me and my boys. So yeah, I'll get there. Another 4 weeks to go. Oh, hi, Natalie from Canberra. Hi, Gretel. You enjoying the nice cold, Natalie? Oh, and my son's watching too. All right, so I'm just ripping up some of these Natalie May collage with the fine details one, and I can't remember the names of them, I'm sorry, but I will pop up a comment probably tomorrow, and with some final photos when I can get the sunlight to come in, if the sun's gonna show itself. It is a good place to be stuck, Barbara. Yeah, if the sun shows, I'll take some photos in the sunlight and I'll pop up links to all the products that I've used tonight. And I'm hoping that I've managed to get things that are in stock. So I'm not going to put anything under here that I think of yet. I haven't quite worked out what I'm doing here, but I know I'm doing rainbow effect here. That's all the plans I had. All right. So yes, I'm stuck at home. I've got a lovely friend's 40th this weekend and she's watching, so that'll be good to get out of the house and have a catch up with the girls. And my other lovely friend is chauffeuring me, so that's nice. And then next weekend, I don't know how I'm going to manage this with a broken leg, but I'm getting better on my crutches, so that's a positive. I'm going to see Cinderella with my niece, my sister, my mum, and my auntie. So they're going to wheel me around Sydney, and I have to get a wheelchair, so that will be fun too. I'm going to have one big muscly leg at the end of this and one, I just don't like straight edges, so I'm just ripping off the straight edges as well, although I might put some of them at the side. All right, I think I've got enough. I may come back and do some in here and then put a different colour, but I don't always have big plans. I just normally get a focal point and go from there. Pretty much all my craft stuff is in arm's reach, thank God. So I'm just going to randomly put the gel medium underneath and on top. And I am a person, I've told Natalie this today, I can talk under wet cement, as my mum tells me. And I hate awkward silences, so sitting here not talking will kill me. But I will try to keep you occupied. And if it's too late for you in wherever you are, thank you for coming to watch on replay. I'm a night crafter because I have 2 boys, and one is a 12-year-old active boy who does a lot of sport, and we're normally out doing stuff with him, particularly in winter. And the other is an active 3-year-old who loves mum's craft room, and if I get in here and he sees I'm doing anything with a paintbrush, he wants to be in here. So I have to craft with my good stuff at night so he can't see it. So there's no rhyme or reason to my collage sticking down here. As you can see, it doesn't matter. This is just going to create some interest through the back of the paints. And I haven't even worked out what paint I'm going to use yet, but I think I might steer towards, no, I'm not even going to say it yet because I haven't decided. Yeah, I'm just making sure I haven't missed any comments. So it's finally dried up in Canberra today. We've had a fair bit of rain. I know there's other areas that are having a bit of some flooding. My auntie wanted to go and get my nan and bring her up from Narrandera next week to for a medical appointment. We were all going to chip in and help have her. Well, I wasn't going to be doing much help, but my sister and my mum were. And Wagga is flooded apparently. And she's in Narrandera, which is down further in the Riverina. So as soon as Wagga floods, it flows on to Narrandera, so in New South Wales. So we have to postpone that idea. Now, this is the ugly stage. I'm sure you've all heard Natalie say that. And when I first started art journaling, I thought, what on earth is the ugly stage? And why doesn't it look beautiful to start with? And this is why, because it's all about the layers. Now, I've also decided tonight, because I'm trying to work quickly, that I'm not going to use any texture paste because I didn't want to have to sit here drying things. And I'm not a big texture paste person either. So, and look, I haven't even cut up enough collage paper, so. Sorry, did I miss a? Keep talking. Oh, thanks, Tammy. Don't have much of a thought process yet, but I'm getting there. I'm still thinking about what I'm going to do in the middle and how I'm going to bring that umbrella out. So I had, the only ideas I had in my head today was I wanted to use a rainbow effect, similar to, if you've seen Natalie's current challenge for this month, hashtag I made it, put one of your favorite things up, and I put the canvas I did on my wall with the rainbow and one of Natalie's girls up on there. So I was thinking I wanted to try and recreate the rainbow part of that and put it in my art journal because, you know, I loved it so much. And my sister wants me to do something similar for my niece's new bedroom. So I have to think of something to do for her bedroom as well, and my nephew's as well. Now I've just stuck on a straight edge, but that's okay. I'm okay. All right, so I'll just rip up a little bit more. So I'm thinking that I'll put her behind a colour. I might do like a baby blue so it looks like the sky back here, and then rainbow rain. That's what I'm going for. And yeah, these whimsical girls are great. Has anyone got their... Hello, I think that was Annette, because she always puts a butterfly. Hi, Annette. Hi, Nat. All right. So just rip up a little bit more. Poor Nat's only just got home from work because she's super busy. Hi, Sharon. Thank you for joining and watching my first live. I was going to tell Natalie I'd do some more, but I thought I'd just... Hello, Alison. I thought I might just wait until I get through the first one and the nerves. So, yes. But I'm a bit of a Christmas freak, so I've already started doing a little bit of Christmas crafts. And my 3-year-old loves craft. He's like his mummy. He wants to be in here. I've got a trestle table set up next to me, and if he sees me in here, he's up there, and he asks for a chair and he wants to help. So now it doesn't matter that I've got gaps here. So I'm not going to rip up any more after this because it's going to be covered in paint. It doesn't all have to have gel medium there, or some collage paper underneath. It's really just to give. And the really, I really love the big, I think it's the, I'm not even going to pretend to remember what the writing is called, but the big fat writing. I really love how bold that is. And I'm sorry if I've missed saying hello to anybody. I think the comments are still coming up. If you've just joined us. And I'm going to shortly just put this aside. I might give it a quick hit with the heat gun, and then I'll pop it aside to dry while I work on this girl. And I think I might even... I'm thinking I might even extend her umbrella onto another piece of paper and stick it on rather than draw it on my page. So only because I just don't, not an issue with drawing on my page, but I'm just not sure how I'm going to make it work. See, the ideas don't always come until I've either made a mistake that I don't like, or I've come up with something else, or as I'm doing it. So... All right, so I think that's good. Now, my darling son, every night I'm in the craft room, he comes, he empties my water for me because I can't carry my water to the kitchen with my crutches. So he empties my water and refills it and washes out my brushes. All right, so I might just quickly give that a bit of a... Now, I don't actually know how I sound when this happens, so I'm just going to quickly give it a hit. I don't know if you can hear me when this is on. I don't think you can. Hello, Amanda. Yay, you made it. My lovely cousins joining us. let it dry for a little bit. If you've just joined us, I've just put collage paper all in that area. And from the Whimsical Girls Jane Davenport book that Natalie has in stock, I've cut this girl out. And my plan is that I'm going to put her here somewhere. No, I'm putting her here somewhere. Down here, I'm going to cut her off. And I'm just going to now extend her umbrella. And I'm saying a lot. I'm going to have to get better at that. So I'm going to use a bit of the offcuts here. And I might even just get, if you could see my craft room, you'd know there's something going on, because things just get dumped on my side table until I can turn around to reach things fully. All right, so I'm just going to use some double-sided tape here, but we'll see how that goes. I'm just going to stick, I'm going to extend her umbrella, and then I'm going to draw it. So it's not going to be the best umbrella in the world, because I don't claim to be a great drawer. All right. So, and sorry that that's sideways, but I can't work fully straight. So I will turn it around, and I'm just going to get a gel pen, and I'm just going to, okay, I'm going to have to turn her even more so on the side. I'm just going for it. Thank God it's a squiggly drawing, because I certainly matched that. All right, so now I'm just going to extend these up here. Oh, there you go. There's the Whimsical Girls. I've got a link ninja. Is that what they call them? Link ninjas? So if you didn't see me go through the book earlier, it's got stickers in the back, some nice little quotes, and it's got some collage paper in the back of the book as well. And there's heaps, and I mean heaps. And you can use, if you don't like some of the girls, and there's a few I don't like. Won't say that I like them all, but there's the other side you can use as collage paper, because it's like a, I don't know what type of paper it is, but it's thin enough that you could use. And one side's black and white, and the other side's got colour on it of some sort, whether it's coloured girls or, so the other side of this one is this. So I won't throw that away. That's something I can use. All right. So I fussy cut that before, because no one wants to see me fussy cutting. And I'm probably going to cut her off, I think, about there. All right. And now I can see that's a bit wonky, but that's all right. We'll just go with it. Okay. And we are pretty dry now, so I'm going to swap that over. I might just give it a little bit more on this side, a little bit more. I'm just going to move myself up. If I'm not right on the page, just let me know. Heating from underneath is good. It helps it dry from underneath as well. It makes it, yeah, it's nice and dry. Dries really quickly. All right, now to make a decision on my girl and the rain. So I think I'll do blue under here, and I'm going to leave that to last. And I have gessoed my page. If you missed that, I did that before I started. And I'll just squish my book up a little bit. And now I've got collage paper everywhere. Okay, so my colours. So I think I'm going to use my Dina Wakefield colours tonight. So I have this big storage thing here that goes in my cube, and I'm going to use lemon, and I want it to be tangerine. I'm going to use a ruby red, and then I'm going to go with magenta. I need a purple, blackberry, lapis. Lapis is my favourite. I'm thinking I might go sky as well. I'm just going to hold on to that for a minute. And lime. Right. So these are Dina Wakefield acrylic paints. And I've got them all lined up here. And what I'm going to do is one of my favourite things to use, and I got this off one of the very first online shows that I watched Natalie do in one of her show specials, and it's the Tear Off paper palette. I love it, and as you can see, I don't always tear it off, but there's plenty of room on there. No, I'm going to keep that. And obviously I've done some sort of rainbow, but these are great. They're really, really cheap, and there's like 36 even. And I've had this for 2 years and I'm not even close to using it. Sometimes you can just wipe it off with a baby wipe, and I've actually done that with some black gesso over here. So it does actually, I might actually rip it off. You just rip it off and put it in the bin. It's great. So I'm just gonna pop a bit of paint on here. Now, I'm one of these people who I always don't put enough paint because I'm scared of wasting it. So I always end up having to top up. But that's okay. I always have my little art journal that came in the last year's Art by Marlene. This one doesn't get used very much. Art by Marlene calendar, the mini one. And I always wipe off into that, which was great for when I first broke my leg because I couldn't come into the craft room. Hi, Amy. Welcome. These are Dina Wakefield acrylic paints. I'm a newbie too, Amy, so I'm not a newbie to art journaling anymore. I don't think I can say that, but this is my very first time doing a live art journal page. So these normally don't clog up too bad. The fine nozzle, anything with a fine nozzle is going to clog up at some point. My magenta, I obviously have ones I use more than others. I think I'm up to my second sky, and the others, I'm still on my first one. And this one's lapis. So this is one of my favorite blues to use. Oh, and it's spitting at me probably because it's nearly, and it doesn't hurt to give it a wipe with a baby wipe on the end, just to make sure that if you get a bit of a splatter, it's not going to clog. And this one's Sky, and I use Sky a bit. So my favourite colour ever, my favourite colour is red. And I'm sure anyone who has been doing art journaling for a while knows how hard red is to use in journaling, because you don't want your journal page to look like a murder scene. So I don't use it a lot, but that is my favourite colour. So I was very excited with the new Tim Holtz colour. All right, so paintbrushes. I'm going to use a paintbrush tonight. And I'm going to use my Art by Marlene paintbrushes. I keep all my old paintbrushes for things like gel medium and my 3-year-old who likes to help. So I'm using the number 12 Art by Marlene brush. This is probably my favourite brush and it's well used. I probably could do with another one. Okay, so I'm going to start this side with my colours. Now, one thing I do like to do when I'm using paint, and I have accidentally printed 2 permission notes from school, my son's school today. So I'm going to pop under here some extra paper so it doesn't go on, like the edges don't go over onto my next page. So it's a pretty new journal, this one. I've had it for ages, but it's new because I've got so many. So if you've only just joined, this is the Dilutions large journal, and this is I think this is called the classic one with it's got the craft and the black pages in it. All right, so now I think I'm starting with green at this end. So I'm just going to start up here. I'm hoping you can see it. So I'm using a dry brush technique. I'm not putting any water on. And I may even swap to a bigger brush because I'm just going to try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I want to kind of divide. I want it to be even. So I've got 8 colours. So I probably want to do, I want to do a quarter of the page. So I need to go over a bit more with my colour. All right. So this is the lime. Yeah, and I haven't put enough water on my palette, but see how you can get the collage papers coming through. I love that. And I'm just going to roughly do it down the bottom because I'm going to drip down the page as well as a different, I'm hoping it comes up as well after I've done the paint. And then I'm going to, I haven't changed my, I haven't, now I've lost my words. There's a first. I haven't washed my brush is what I'm trying to say. I'm using the dry brush and I'm blending them at the side here. Now, if I do my strokes upwards at the edge of the page, it will kind of help it not go onto the other side, even though I don't have anything on there. And I do have a bit of green in there, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. And I'm just leaving a little bit of white and nothing down the bottom here. I'm sure I'll do something with it later, but I'm just leaving it so that I can do some drips and see where they go on their own. All right. Now I'm just going to wipe, I had a little bit of excess paint there, so I'm just going to wipe that off a little bit. And I'm going to move on to the orange. Tangerine, this colour's tangerine. By using a dry brush, I can blend, it blends a lot easier into those colours, and because those colours are next to each other on the colour wheel, they don't make brown. If you're new to art journaling, I highly recommend that you Google a colour wheel and print one out. I have one sitting, no I don't, it's fallen down behind the back of my desk and I can't get it because I have a, can't climb. I can't kneel on my knee either because where I've broken my leg is at the top of my leg, but in the lower part, but it's right under my knee. So I can bend my knee, but I just can't put any weight on it. So see how that's blending really nicely there. And I will bring it up closer at the end. All right, so now moving into the ruby. Now ruby's quite deep. And so I'm just going to blend that there at the edge and flick up a bit. Now sometimes I say things like don't go like flick up, and then I do the opposite. So yeah, I'm getting close here to the part that I don't want any paint in. So I'm just going to be a bit careful here. And I'm sorry if I've missed any comments. I have seen a few things, but I keep putting my head down. I'm not used to, I'm used to sitting here listening to other people do the instructions and talk while I just play. So I'm just going to extend that red over there a bit more so it gets a little bit more. And still got a bit of yellow there. And I'm going to come back in here and do this, but I'm just going to, I want to give it an edge because I'm trying for a rainbow rain. That's what I'm going for, rainbow rain, and it's going to hit the top of the umbrella and she's protected from the rainbow rain. All right, so now moving into the magenta. I'm just going to wipe, oh no, I won't. I won't wipe it off. I'll just go with it. Yep, we're a little bit rosy pink there. Yeah, I might come in here later and yeah, I'm going to wipe some of that off. That ruby, the red is really intense, so I just don't want it to take over the magenta. So I'm just going to put there. So is anybody, yes, she does, Linda. Nat does have a basics art journal page. If you're a newbie, I highly recommend it. Or any of Nat's classes, you will learn a lot. All right, so I'm moving into blackberry now. So I'm just eyeballing. I'm not a measurer. I'm not one of those people, and you need to measure things. When I first started scrapbooking, and I just wing most of it. Now this is quite an intense color as well, so I'm just going to go around there. Thanks, Linda. Hoping if Nat's watching still, and I really don't expect you to be, Nat, you are sitting back with a glass of wine and relaxing, because that's what this was all about. You taking a bit of pressure off Nat and sharing some of mine and Linda's. Yay. Oh, no wine. What? Gin? What about gin? All right. You know what? I have miscounted my colours, haven't I? Have I? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I have. Oopsie. I'm going to have to add another colour in there. That's okay. We'll just go with it. No mistakes in art journaling or craft is what I tell my niece, who I'm going to add turquoise in there, I think. Yep, I'm going to add Dina Wakley turquoise in at the end. Beautiful. Another favourite colour. So my beautiful niece, Ada, Miss Ada, is just turned 10 and she loves scrapbooking. So, of course, as a mum of 2 boys, who, well, the 3-year-old might get into it, but I don't think so, but she loves it. So I I do some craft with her, and I will share this with her because she'll be so excited, but it's a bit late for her tonight because she'll be in bed. So I'll share, give her it on YouTube. I'll pop it on, I don't know if I can share it onto my YouTube. Anyway, I'll work that out with Nat. That's right, Karen. They are creative opportunities, mistakes. I love it. Okay. So I'm just concentrating because I think I've taken a leaf out of Nat's book. I can't talk and concentrate at the same time when I'm doing fine details. Anyway, I think that I saw what you wrote, Amy, but I think that's directed at Nat, not me. So I'm very excited that I'm coming to the Creative Escape this year. I wasn't able to get there last year. Had a bit too much personal stuff going on, but I'm very excited that I'll be able to. Thanks. Okay. All right. I'm going to put get a bit more of that blue off because I'm going into from a dark. I'm actually going to wash my brush because I'm going from a dark color to a light color. But what I'm going to do is take all the water out with some paper towel. So it's looking like a hot mess at the moment, but it will get there. This is, as I said before, this is the ugly stage. So we're getting there. Not particularly liking how dark that is, so that might get some lighter tones on it later on. All right. And now, so I'm moving into the sky now, which is a beautiful, beautiful colour. And I forgot my rule on the other side of I'm leaving a white gap down the bottom with the lapis, but that's okay. Hello, everybody, if you've just joined. Thank you for watching my first live Facebook. I'm very excited and I was nervous all day. I think I've done a few tests to make sure I had the camera the right way and make sure my lighting was right. All right, and my last colour, I'm gonna just stick that lapis turquoise. So I'm using the Dina Wakley colours here. If you've just joined us, and I'm in my large dilutions journal. And I have stuck on all different collage papers underneath. I'm pretty sure most of them are Natalie's. And some collage papers I use for focal points and some I use for this exact purpose as a background to add some interest to the colour. So look how much more interesting this is over here, this dry part over here, than it would be if I just had the colour there. So not a big plan tonight, just had the girl I'm using with her umbrella and rainbow. And I'm getting a few different colours coming through my brush because I'm pressing a bit harder, but that's okay. That's okay. All right. Now I'm going to do a bit of dripping. So this might be a bit more tricky. I'm going to have to move my paints out the way. Excuse my hand in the way. I'm just going to have a really quick drink. Is anybody playing along? Or you're all just watching because you had no idea what I was doing? So I'm just going to get some paper towel to catch my drips. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to show on the camera, But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these paints over here that I have on my paint palette, and I'm going to make a bit of a wash, and then I'm going to drip down each colour, and I'm going to have to somehow try and avoid that. So I'm going to be playing catch the paint at some point. So I'm just going to pop the paper towel down. I'm going to move these out the way. And see, look how much I got on my excess pages. Old school notes that I printed. All right, so this is just, it may not show up, I'm hoping it does, but it's just to add a bit more of a different texture, a bit more of a different interest to the paint. I've only done one coat there for that reason, and I'm gonna use my Nuvo spray bottle to add some water to those colors. And I'm sorry they're off the screen, but I just don't have the room for it all. All right, and I'm actually going to change brushes because that one has just made my yellow green, and that's what happens. And I want a round brush, so I don't even know what brand this is. Okay, don't mind me, I'm just talking to myself because I've done a little boo-boo. So my brush, I didn't wash it properly, so my brush has made my yellow that I've just sprayed over here a bit green, and I really wanted the yellow to be quite yellow, so I'm just going to pop. And these paints are really good, they dry really quickly, so that's all dry, all of that, the whole page. All right, so I'm just going to spray. Probably shouldn't have sprayed all of them, but anyway, we'll get there. And I'm just going to make a bit of a wash. Now I'm just going to move it off because I don't want it to drip onto my page. So I'm doing it off the screen where you can't see, but that's all I'm doing is making a bit of a wash. And I'm starting with my lightest colour first, so I'm not starting with the green. Now, let's see if you can see this. I'll bring it forward a bit. Just wait. Yep. Okay. So I'm just getting my brush nice and juicy, and I'm just pressing. Not sure if you can see that properly because my hand's in the way. So I'm just, there we go. I've got a drip happening. So I might even, that yellow section's got a good drip area to it. And I'm watching my drip. It doesn't matter if it goes into the other side. Now once I've got the spot, it's a bit awkward because I'm right-handed and my camera is on the left side, but all I need to do is get a bit more water and stick it up the top and it will drip. I'm hoping you can still see that. And it's dripping down. Bit more water, so it's going to drip faster. And I'm actually going to go in with a third because that yellow part's quite wide. I'm going to go in, and it's slowing down the bottom because it's running out of liquid, but it's just gonna create, and it's going a little bit into that tangerine. Yeah, I'm hoping you can see it well enough. It's a bit hard to do on camera. So I'm going to leave that there. Okay. I hope you can see where so this one just stops here. This one's gone down here. And that one's there. And I'm just going to dry that so that it stays there. Now it's not completely dry, but I've dried the ends so it shouldn't drip too much more. So now I'm going to do the same with the green, the lime. Now the lime will be a bit trickier because it's over at the edge. So once again, I'll pop my book up, hoping that you can see that there. Yep, okay. And I'm just pushing the water out of my brush to get that drip. And the yellow has started, one of the yellows has started again, but that's okay. It's this was easier to do on my canvas that I did because it wasn't as heavy and I wasn't filming, I guess. So that green has gone over into the yellow, and that's what I want. I want it to look like it's not perfect. That's the look I want. So I'm just going to, hoping you can see that my hand's not getting in the way too much. I'm just adding more liquid to that, to one of them. And the funny thing is, I can't quite see my water container, so I'm sticking my brush over the book into a random spot. So they're dripping down, and I love that they're uneven. So, because I'm going for coloured rain, so that's what I want. I want that. So there's the green. And that might drip. I might even just leave that now that I'm working over with the orange. And I'll move on to the orange. All right. And I'm going to put one right next to, doesn't matter if they join together, but I'm putting this one right next to the yellow one that's there. And I'm going to guide it. You can kind of guide it a little bit with your brush. Don't want it to be right on the yellow. And I'm having a little bit of trouble with my weight of my book. My hands are a little bit exhausted using crutches. So there we go. The drip's happening. And we are getting coloured rain, which is exactly what I wanted. So I'm only going to do 3 drips in the orange, I think, because I think I'm going to move the red into the red drip into the orange. Now, you can guide your drips a little bit. You can tilt your book a certain way if you want it to go. I've just tilted it closer to my left so that it doesn't go, that orange drip doesn't go into the red, because that's not what I wanted. And I'm just giving it a bit of a shake. Thank you, Susan. Yep, and my finger stuck to the page. All right, I might give that a bit of a dry, just a little bit. Okay, now I'll have to come back and fix that little bit there that my finger took off. All right, now I'm moving on to the ruby. Yeah, ruby's quite intense, so I'm not going to do a huge one. All right. I think I'm going to have an RSI from tipping this book up all night. Oh, sorry, you can't quite see that. There we go. I think I've got it. Now I'm going to guide this first drip I don't want it to go into my white area. And I'll just add a bit more liquid up the top. And this one here, I'm going to get ready with my paper towel. Stop. And I can wipe that. All right. So that did go into my white bit, but that's okay because I've gessoed it. And I'm going over it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But it'll come off with. Yep, all good. All right, so I'm going to leave, I might do another really little, and I think I've just stuck my brush in something. Goodness me. All right, so I'm just going to do another really little quick red drip. I'm not even tilting my book up too fast because I need to catch it quickly. And I'm going to stop it there. All right. Now I'm just going to grab a bit of paper towel and just suck liquid out of that, just with the end of the paper towel. So it's still got the mark there, but it doesn't have all the water in it, so it won't keep dripping. All right, magenta. I was expecting my delivery to come today with my new Art by Marlene stuff in it, but I think it's taken a day longer. I think the floods may be having a bit of an effect on deliveries because it's normally pretty good spot on a week here from Nat to me, but yeah, not to be, so that's okay. I'll get it tomorrow. All right, so again, I'm just going to take a little bit of the liquid. So the pigment's left on the bottom, but I'm just taking a little bit of that liquid out, but I've still got the drip. Just because I don't want it to go into drip anymore. This side's much easier to show you on camera. Yeah, they're just not wanting to move. I've got enough liquid. Oh, there we go. We're off and racing. My little one would love watching this. He loves stamping, and I have to get out the cheapo Kmart paints when he's watching, because otherwise he wants all the good stuff. And I don't like sharing it. All right. Now I'm moving on to, sorry, this is a bit repetitive, this part. But if you're playing along, I'm sure you're able to, there's a good chance for you to catch up or whatever. And if you're going to have a go at something similar, please share. I love seeing what people do. I was saying to my husband before, I'm not sure how long I'm supposed to take. I normally take about 2 hours. And then I realised probably 15, 30 minutes of that is probably Googling or Pinteresting for some ideas if I haven't already got some. So good thing I had a plan tonight, well, half a plan. Now, that purple is about to drip a bit further than I'd like it to. Oh, come on. Go, go, go. Yep. So if you're not already on the Natalie May creative community, join in, because there's lots of creative inspiration there. Lots of competitions. You get all the insight into when the goodies are coming, the new goodies are coming, and it's a lovely community. I've had several people offer to pick me up from the airport for the creative escape, which is lovely. And I've managed to convince my lovely cousin Amanda to come along. So we're going to be coming from Canberra together. And we're staying an extra night afterwards because our flights wouldn't match up, but that's okay. Because we will enjoy the break from the kiddies and life, doing creative things. I'm going to put an extra purple drip here so it goes across into the blue. And by putting the drips in here, it kind of helps hide the lines as well. I'm hoping you can, my hand's not in the way, sorry. I keep forgetting to watch myself on the screen. Oh, yeah. I literally have my paintbrush in my mouth because that one got away. Sorry. I was watching this one and that one dripped past me. So that's okay. All right. It's like watching paint dry, literally, isn't it? All right, nearly there. I'm getting there. Slowly but surely. Right, the lapis. Let's get the lapis. Now, I'm just doing this really gently because I can see that purple is on the verge of going. But I really like the end drip it's got. Nope, I'm putting it down. So yeah, you just got to watch where your drips are going in this. I'm not going to dry it. I'm just going to take some liquid out of it. All right. Yep. And I've just put my paintbrush in the wrong colour. Alrighty. So, did anybody have a win on the Melbourne Cup? This is probably the first time. I'm normally that person in the office. I work in public service by day. I'm normally that person in the office who organises all the sweeps. And this year, I didn't even watch the race. I was stuck in my room and it was 3 o'clock and over and done with before I knew it. Now, that drip is just sitting there. I'm just going to suck that up so it's not... I'll have to get used to not putting my paintbrush in my mouth to talk. I'm going to let that one continue because it is right on that line. And it takes away the intensity, the sharpness of that line that I've painted there. So I'm okay with that. And I may even come in and do that on the other side too. But I might finish that. All right. Now, one thing I normally do, not all the time, is I normally do stenciling before I do my colour. Sometimes I do it with it. But this page, because I've got so much colour, I'm actually going to use my stenciling to add my white and just my white. I'm going to use stenciling to add my white over the top. Okay. We're getting there. I'm sorry, this part is, I didn't realise how long this part would take. It's a bit, yeah, it's literally like watching paint dry. All right, so I'm going to move, while that one's dripping, I'm going to move into my next colour. And let these drip together. Bit more pigment. Sorry, I'm a little bit off the screen there. I'll move that over. Oh, and they've joined down the bottom, but that's okay. We'll go with it. Okay. And last but not least, God, sorry guys, I'm actually getting bored of doing this, so I can't imagine what it's like to watch. Thanks, Amy. Hopefully you can go along and watch it back and play along. That's what's... And I've just put the wrong colour again. God, I'm hopeless. All right, so that's a bit of a curvy line, that one. Curvy drip. And I'm getting to the awkward part of the book again where I'm at the side, which makes it difficult for you to see and difficult for me to hold. So I'm just going to finish those drips off. Now this colour, I want it to run right down the bottom because I've got a fair bit of white space down there. So I'm going to put a fair bit of liquid up there. A bit more in that one. I've got a drip, but that's okay. Sorry, my hand's in the way. I will get used to making sure I put my hand in the right spot. And we've got the drips coming down the bottom, so that's good. And unfortunately they all joined into one, which is not what I wanted. So I'm going to help it make another drip. I'm going to get another line happening there, just off there. So you can make another line if you want to guide your drips. You can make another line just by putting a wet paintbrush down. And I'm just manipulating where it's going. All right. That is the drips complete. Ah, thank God that's over. And I have paint everywhere. So I'm just going to give that a bit of a dry. Now, I'm going to work on this section here now. So what am I going to do? I need a blue. I need a blue. What am I going to do? I'm thinking I'm going to go, I'm going to make something with this salty ocean. But I think I'm going to water it down. Yeah, I'm going to water salty ocean down. Just going to pop a little bit in a palette. No, a not so clean palette. I'm going to use these for my Lindy's. I'm going to make up some Lindy's, so I'll just get that out of there. So I'm just going to pop a little bit in here. Now, I'm not spraying it because I don't want it, as much as it would probably spray lovely, I don't want it to go through there. And I don't have anything, I don't think that will protect such a big area. Now, I'm just moving my palette out the way because I will put my arm in it. All right, so I'm going to go back to, no, I'm going to get a big Art by Marlene brush, because this is quite a big area. So I'm going to get the filbert, the bigger filbert brush. And here we go. So I'm using the 20 filbert brush because it's quite a big area. Now, I'm going to get a bit of a small piece of paper. And I'm just going to see how this comes. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Yep. Okay. So I always test my colour first on something, and that's just a scrap piece of paper. All right. So I want a bit of a wash look, and I'm just going to use my baby wipe here. Let's see if that purple will come out, but it won't really matter. I don't do perfect, so that's great. Really works for me. All right. Now, because this is a distress, it will react with water. So if I put too much on, or my brush doesn't have enough water on it, I can just add some to it. And it will lighten it up. I have to say, I don't think I've actually ever used my distresses like this. Now that's going to get that binding there is going to go dark, but that's okay because we'll cover that up with the girl, our girl. Speaking of girls, how fabulous are Nat's new collage papers? I've used Allison last night, I believe. I did use Allison. No, night before, sorry. And they are fabulous. And of course I used some of the older ones for my 7 Deadly Sins project, which turned out fantastic. And I got the new ones before I'd finished that, but I was determined to use the girls I'd already picked. So it was a struggle for me because I really wanted to use the new ones, but I wanted to finish that project first. So if you haven't seen my 7 Deadly Sins ladies, have a look on Instagram under Toki Creations. I'm sure I put them on Nat's page in the Natalie May Creative community page as well. And there's also one tutorial on YouTube. I would love to do more tutorials, but tutorials just are so time consuming. You have to video. The videoing part's the easy part. It's the editing and then voiceover, all that sort of stuff. Okay, so this blue has turned out absolutely perfect. And I'm not going to worry about these brush strokes because they're going to go somehow. Haven't worked that part out yet. I'm literally making this up as I go. Way to do a first live Facebook, but you know, that's how I roll. All right, I'm liking how that looks like sky background. And what I'm going to do is get my fan brush. And I'm not sure how this will work, but I'm going to give it a crack. If I can find a fan brush. So the problem with my little thing of paintbrushes is that it has the toddler's paintbrushes in it as well. So I have to make sure I don't pick out one of his paintbrushes because they're terrible. Here we go. So, and his paintbrushes are cheap and nasty and the hairs fall out everywhere. So I'm just going to use this fan brush that I've got, and I'm going to just dip it in the water. And I'm not sure if this is going to work with the distress because I've already put water in it, but let's see. It is excellent. That's what I wanted. So it's putting a bit of rain marks in the background because she's not getting rained on, but there's rain in the background. So let's do that. All right, and I'm just going to get a piece of paper towel, put that over there, pick up that pigment. There we go. All right, and I'm going to come in over here later. We've got a bit of collage paper that's come out there. It's got a bit of the blue on it, and I'm just going to make that not so, I hate the edge. So we're still in the ugly stage of that edge there. All right, so how am I going for time? What time am I at? Oh God, I'm going too slow. Sorry, Nat. All right, I'm going to pop her down there. Yep, so she's going to sit. She might sit right there. Okay, and I'm going to use my gel medium, which I put in a very safe spot. Here we go. And I'm going to stick it down with gel medium. And again, I'm going to use my catalyst tool to do that. But before I do that, I'm not going to use gel medium because this is distress ink. So to swap that, distress ink will react because gel medium is a liquid. So I'm going to use my Art by Marlene sticky glue to stick her down. All right, good thing I picked that up quickly. Would have been disappointed in myself. All right. The Art by Marlene sticky glue is fabulous. I'm from back in the day, I was always a Glossy Accents. My lovely friend Gretel, she's still watching, but I'm sure she's in bed. It's past her bedtime. Her and I were all about the Glossy Accents, which is a Ranger product. But this is my new glue. I still have a Glossy Accent, but I've just realised that my glue has gone down past where she's probably going to be cut off, but that's okay. But yes, this Marlene glue is lovely. It's I think I've either got a new one in the order or another one, and I've already got another one sitting there. So I'm popping my girl on with the Art by Marlene sticky glue pen. And I'm just going to pop her in there. And if you didn't hear, I'm not using gel medium because gel medium will react to the Distress ink that I've used in the blue here underneath. And I've already got my raindrops, so I didn't want to ruin that. And look, I'll just move my hand now and you can see the glue has reacted as well, which is okay under the gel, but I didn't want it to react over and around. Now, I'm not a person who fussy cuts close. You can see the lines. I'm okay with that. If you like to fussy cut nice and close, that's great. But I don't. Each to their own, I say. And I will chop the rest of her off later. Just have to get that excess off. All right, so we're starting to take a bit more shape. And I'm going to have to move it along because I'm running over time. So apologies. I'm going to have to time myself more. Okay, so now I want to get, I'm just going to dry her off because she's a bit wet. Hi, Leslie. Okay, that's nice and dry, except for a few little blobs here. I'm just going to pick those up with some paper towel because I want to use some stencils. All right, and I'm going to try and move a bit faster now because I've gone over time. So I'm going to use my new Vicky Bouton print shop stencils. And I'm just going to put a bit of texture onto the page. Now, this one's off the offset stencil from Vicky Bouton Print Shop, and I think it would go, I think it's going to go really good there. Okay, so I'm going to use a bit of gesso, and I'm just going to use a makeup sponge, which my gesso is quite thick, so I'm just going to put a little teeny weeny bit of water in it because this is a thick gesso. And I'm going to bring my palette back to my side. Now I'm just going to give it a bit of do I want this? I may have changed my mind. Sorry, I may. All right, I'm going to go with the Love Hearts. And I'm just going to put I'm just going to bring a bit of white. And anyone who's seen my work before knows that they're not going to stay like that. I'm going to get my gel pen or my Life of Colour pens out, and I normally go around them for mark making. So I'm just putting a really light touch of white into these. So yeah, this is the offset stencil from Vicky Bouton's new range print shop. And I love Vicky Bouton stuff. But I made myself a promise that I was not going to buy any more scrapbooking things until I finished my 2021 album, which I'm up to May, so I'm failing. because I've got addicted to art journaling. So my scrapbooking has taken a back seat for a bit, but I will get back there. I'm halfway through a page, so I'll definitely get back there. And I'll pop a little bit down here. Putting a bit of gesso in is where we're creating our balance. So we've got black in the girl and black and white in the girl, and we've got black coming through here and a bit of white down here. So that's where our balance is with all this color. I will then bring some black in with the gel pen. And I have no rhyme or reason with where I'm putting this. I'm just putting some on the page. It's also a good way that if you've got lines here that you don't particularly like, which I've just noticed as I've said that I don't particularly like that line there, it's a good way of hiding it. You can hide it with stencils and the paint pens, which I do at the end. What's gesso? Gesso is it's what you seal the page with. It gives it a bit of water protection. So Nat might be able to explain it better, but it's also, because you can get gesso in white, you can put it over the top and use it like a paint. But underneath, it protects your page and gives it a bit of it's a sealer, so it gives it a bit of a primer is what I'm trying to say. It gives it a prime base to start your page on. Hope that explains it, Amy. But yeah, you want to put, if you're using a bit of liquid, and if I was just using the acrylic paints, it would be okay. But because I was using the drips with a bit of water, I wanted to make sure that it had yeah, a bit like hairspray, but don't use hairspray on your pages. Definitely don't. And yeah, yeah, underwear for crafting. Oh, I love that. Love that. I'm going to use that, Nat. Underwear for crafting. All right, moving on. Okay. Now, I also want to add a little bit of mark making. So now I have a little. Oh, okay, you're into fabric. Well, I can't do fabric. So there you go. This little bucket is my little goodies of mark making, and it's also where I hide my lollipops from the kids so they don't steal all from that I get from Natalie. So these are some of my older Art by Marlene, just mark making stamps. So I just keep them in a. This one's from the Advent calendar last year. I use that one all the time. I already know what I'm going to use. I'm going to use a zigzag. There's a zigzag in here, and I do love it. All good, Amy. So yeah, the new Art by Marlene, not new, but they're the last range. The mark making stamps, they're great. I just haven't got them yet, but like they're just a little bucket of stamps that are little and they can give a bit of interest. So I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to use an acrylic block because I want it to actually stand out. And I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use some white gesso again. I was going to use black, but I'm going to use the black pencil, so I don't black gel pen, so I don't want to have too much black. So I'm just going to pop a bit of gesso on my palette over to the side here so that I can rub my stamp in. So the black, I've got black gesso as well, Amy, just so you know, and they're really good to use for just putting a bit of black and white onto your page as well, like a paint. I normally have my gesso out anyway, so And if I don't like how it went, it comes off much easier. So I'm just going to pop some of these zigzags in. And if you're still watching, I know I'm going late. I'm sorry. Feel free to come back if it's too late for you where you are. So I'm just randomly popping these in here. And it's a good one to put over the lines here that you don't like. So I've covered that line up there, which is great, because I really didn't like that line. Yeah, cute little stamps just for a bit of mark making. Kind of looks like a bit of a lightning strike, actually. All right. And I'm just going to wipe that off with a baby wipe, because they do get into there and it will stick. And that's good for stamping. I'm also going to add a teeny weeny bit of black archival ink. And I'm going to add a bit of stamping, interest stamping, and I'm going to use my super sweary stamp. I really love this sweary stamp, and I mean, I love this. I love the words too, but I love some of the fonts. And I'm not putting it on there for the word. I'm putting it on there for the interest in the background. So I'm going to use, I'm not even looking at what the word says. I'm actually, yeah, this one. I'm going for the size of the stamp for this. And so that was Natalie's super sweary stamp. And just using some black archival ink. And again, I'm going to make sure by using a piece of paper that it's up the right way, because I've done that upside down. Good heart, bad mouth. That kind of works with her. So I don't want it to be big and bold. I just want to add a little bit of interest. So I'm just going to put that coming off her, and I'm just going to keep stamping until it runs out. And I'm going to pop a little bit over, bit up here. And I'm going to put a bit over here coming off the page. And that's good. In threes. I don't always work in threes. Sometimes I go 4 and then I'll go, oh crap, I need to do 5. Can't do that, the wrong number. Can't do even numbers. It's I think it's because it's more symmetrical. I'm going to go with that. Maybe I could be making stuff up here. All right. So now I'm getting there. Thank you for sticking with me. All right. Now I think she's pretty dry. I want to make, I'm not going to color her. I'm going to leave her black and white. I might, yeah, I think I'm going to leave her black and white. And I'm going to leave the umbrella black and white. I might even make the umbrella grey. I'll see. I'll leave that to the end, and I might even do that off camera later. But what I'm going to do next is I'm going to start mark making. So I'm getting to the end, and I'm going to start with, no, before I do that, I'm going to use something to get the drips, this to drip off here. I think I might use my Life of Colour pens. So I'm going to get my Life of Colour pens out. Sorry for the banging. And I know there's a red in there. And I have a gazillion pens. So there's that one. And that one's metallic. Okay, so this one's the one I'm going to do. I'm actually just double thinking that. I think I'm good. No, okay, sorry, changed my mind. I'm going back to the paint because I'm gonna make the drip myself so it looks like it's coming off the umbrella. So what I'm going to do that is I'm actually going to paint it down there so that it creates a line. And I'm not concerned about this thing here. It is what it is. I'm leaving it. It may stop my drip, so I can start my drip again if I need to. But I'm literally paving the way with my paintbrush for my drip. So I've done that, and I'm now going to lift my page up again and get that drip to happen. I'll just wait for my camera to catch up. There we go. If you haven't watched Nat do one of these lives before, there's a bit of a delay. So I'm watching myself on my iPad so I can see what you're seeing and see your comments, but there's a delay. All right, so that's getting better. Okay, so I'm putting a bit of liquid in there. This is a little bit delicate because I want, and I'm just giving her a bit of a shake. I'm hoping you can still see that. And I'm just adding more liquid. More liquid. Sorry, my hand was in the way then. And it is kind of running with my distress. So it's kind of becoming a bit of a purpley, purple rain. Oh, I've made purple rain. There you go. All right, that's a much better line though. So is everybody starting to book up for Christmas? I literally I went to work. Well, I didn't go anywhere. I don't leave the house. I went to work, logged into work meeting the other day, and they've planned the Christmas party. And I have a large number of young, not a large number, but the two people who organised the Christmas party, young people with no children or partners. And they have planned the most epic pub crawl. Like, it's literally stage 1 is we're going here for dinner with cocktails. Stage 2, we're going to a karaoke bar. I mean, so fun. But stage 3, which starts at 11 o'clock at night. Sorry, I'm getting this drip. And then stage 4 was from 1. I'm like, oh my God. I definitely won't last till stage 4. All right, so that's a better line, that drip. It's pulled here, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. And I'm not going to do this side because I can cover, actually. I'll get my brush, and I might just paint that side on because I can. Progressive dinner, yeah. And it was said that I'm already legless, so I'll be starting to walk again by then after having physio and stuff. So they're just going to make me legless as well. So that's going to be epic. Yeah, I'll be walking by then, but maybe. Maybe I'll need a wheelchair. So, yeah, it's going to be super fun. And it's the weekend after I am going to see Keith Urban. So I'm going to start walking, and the next week I'm going to a Keith Urban concert. Yay. All right, so I am doing a little bit of a drip, but I'm just tilting my page up so it goes around the girl, and I'm guiding it down. And I'm sorry I'm taking so long to get this page done. But I promise next time I'll be quicker. I'll plan for a single page until I get quicker at this. All right, now I'm just shaking to get that drip on the end. And there we go. All right, that looks much better. Now I'm just going to use my paper towel to take the excess out of the end of this. And the other thing is, the guys who plan this epic Christmas party, they don't have to get up to kids the next day. So, yeah. All right. We're getting there. I'm getting there. I'm slowly but surely. That is looking good. I may do a little bit more in here later, but I'm going to leave it. I will finish some of that off page. Sorry, before I use my pen, don't use, for those who don't know, don't use your pens until your page is dry, because you'll ruin your paint pens particularly. So I'm just going to quickly dry that. Yes, Amy, I'd love to ship my kids off somewhere. No, not really. But when I'm hungover, yes, I would. I may just have to pull in some favours with my husband, but I'm not willing to ask that yet. After maybe, if only Shani Nat wasn't in the same state. I reckon Jessica will be at the perfect age for babysitting for a bit of pocket money. Oh, just for the weekend, yeah. I have told my husband I may have to ask, but yeah, after carting me around for 6 weeks, I'm not going to ask that just yet. Okay, so I'm now just going to go and bring some black into the rest of the page, and I have to do a quote too. So, something about rain. I haven't thought of. Hit me with some quotes. Nat doesn't do kids. All right, so this is, I'm just really roughly and, oh yeah. So this is, I always, this is my favorite part, and I could do this all night, so I could probably finish. Oh, you could have, Susan. I'm sorry I missed you too. You know, stuck on the couch and all. Would have been lovely. But we will catch up at the creative retreat. So looking forward to it. And my lovely cousin Amanda, who is also a newbie to crafting. She's got started with some acrylic paints and a journal, so she's going to be. Now I'm not perfect. with these, I don't want to be perfect. I'm really being loose. And as you can see, I'm making up. Rain is just confetti from the sky. Oh, yes. I like that. Into each life, some rain must fall. Oh, I like that too. I'm going to have to go back and look at your quotes and write them in and put them in my... I'm using a Uniball gel pen. I have about... Don't let anyone rain on your parade. Oh, I like that too, Linda. Oh, Jess. She didn't mean you. She meant other people's kids. Isn't that right, Nat? I do know some people who aren't big kids fans, but they have their own kids. So, yes, you don't. No one loves your kids like you do. I have a big age gap, as you can probably tell, a 12 and a 3-year-old, not through lack of trying. It's just the way life was. And thank God the second one's a boy, because they're very close. And my second one, my 3-year-old, he's wild. He's my wild child. He's definitely, they say there's something about a second kid. Well, I reckon they wrote the book about Blake. He's yeah, and I've been doing Elf on the Shelf for Thomas. This is the second year he doesn't believe. We told him last year he's gone into high schools. So he asked the question and I didn't lie. I know, it killed me. I'm a massive Christmas fan and it killed me to lie to him that Santa Claus. So anyway, we are doing, last year I told him that the elf wasn't who he thought it was. And yeah, sorry, that was a black gel Uniball. I know Nat has the white ones and they are fantastic too. That's my favourite gel pen, the white ones. Now, I was saying something, but I've forgotten what I was about to do. I need to add, I need more. I'm going to add I'm still thinking. Okay, I've lost my process. So I'm going to add my border, and I'm just using a gel pen. And I knew I was going to do this, so. And I don't particularly like my own handwriting quite as much. So I'm not sure if I will handwrite the quote or if I will print something on my, what's that thing called? Dynamo or something that you use for kids, labeling kids stuff. I've used it more for art journaling than I've used it for the kids though. Yeah, so last year my 12-year-old found out that Elf on the Shelf wasn't real, and I've been doing it for 8 years with him, and I've been epic with it. And I guarantee you I'm not going to last that long with my 3-year-old. He is sharp as a tack. Yeah, yes, it's full on, but I'm a bit Christmas nuts, so I've done a bit with mine. I'll tell you those stories another time. All right, I think I'm going to put my saying in here. And do you ever use carbon paper to draw on your sayings? Is that a bit like greaseproof paper, carbon paper? Or I don't know what carbon paper is, I don't think. I do stamp onto tissue paper and then put it on, a bit like what Nat did the other day in a live. I am going to use my white and black Life of Colour pens, and I'm going to do some doodling. You'll have to tell me what carbon paper is though. So I'm just going to create, and I'm actually going to swap. So these are the fine Life of Colour pens. I use them all the time. I buy them in the 6-pack because I literally use them all the time. But I'm actually going, because I want to do some dots, I'm going to use the bigger. So these are the medium ones. Oh, yeah, old receipt books. Oh, so they, yep. I know what you mean. Oh, that's a good idea. All right, so I want to put some, I'm going to put some dots. Just some marks, some interest. I love these pens. I mean, look at that. They just... And I'm going to put some up here. Oh, I'm not that young, Susan. I have used them before, I promise. All right, and I'm doing some big ones because then I'm going to come in with my finer dots. And I'm going to go over here. And I'm just creating some more interest, some more marks. Sorry, Julie. Thank you for those who are still watching me. I'm sorry I'm taking so long. I am having so much fun though. I'm loving it. Now I will come back and do more, but I'll be quicker, promise. All right, so there's a bit of white. I'm going to, I feel like I want to add a few little crosses with my black. No, I don't. I'm going to use the black. I'm going to write my word here. So I think I'm nearly done. I may change my mind afterwards, but I will take photos at the end. Oh, good. Thanks, Marina. Thank you. Yeah, so I think I'm done. I'll add my quote here and I'll take some photos in the morning when the sun is shining in good old Canberra and I can take better photos. Oh, yes, please, Tina, go and watch on replay. Thank you. It's I will do a little bit more mark making. Actually, one thing I always use, and I always do it, is my Stabilo. And I will quickly just do that while I'm still here. Sorry, Nat. I was nearly gone. Thank you, Alison. Thank you, guys. So I'm just adding black Stabilo all here. Thanks, Linda. Thank you. And so this just creates a bit of a, oh man, and I just broke it. So I'm just going to sharpen this is my little one. It's nearly done. But these are water reactive pencils, and it just creates a bit of a shadowy glow. And some people I know like to just do one side. I like to go around my whole, oh, please have a go, Amy. Please do. The Jane Davenport book, even if you don't use the book, like an umbrella is so easy to draw, you know, but yeah, anything with an umbrella. But yeah, I have a look at the community for ideas, like, you know, and you might go, oh, I'm going to try that, and you'll come up with something completely different because you'll start with something and everyone has their own ideas. Oh, thanks, Mel. And I'm sorry if I've missed any comments, but thank you all for watching. Oh, there you go. Yes, Nat did link the book. But it is a great book. And so the Stabilo All, I'm sure you've seen Nat use it all the time because that's where I got the idea. So I'm just using an old, I think this came in my Ultra New watercolors. It's a water brush. And it just has water in it, and I'm just going to activate that, and it gives a bit of a shadow and just ties that in to the page. So we've got a bit of a shadow under there. So I won't do the whole thing. I just want to show that I always do that if I'm adding something to the page, and it is giving it is, because we've got distress under there, it's kind of blending in there, but that's actually okay. I'm okay with that. And it dries with that, yeah, a little bit of a shadow, so you can see that there. I'll bring it up closer, but I will finish that off camera. So you can all go to bed, so you can probably, can you see that? I'm just waiting for the camera to catch up. You can see that there. All right, thank you for watching, everybody, and thanks, Nat, for letting me join in your lives with your community. So thank you again, and till next time. See you. Bye.